Welcome back guys, and welcome to the Afterbuild, where I will talk and review my latest tube build of this GGBO22. This is Hela, my Scratch build, and this is Odin, my community build. And I've done already a video where I talk about the other builds of the other builders. Amazing stuff this year, but here I want to spend some time with you talking about my builds, what I did it right, what I did it wrong, what I learned, and what I like and I can improve on these builds. And I think that I will start from Odin because this was the easiest one of the build. This was a kit build that I built originally more than 3 years ago now, and I needed to refinish and improve it because I was at the very beginning of my journey here, and what I did was just paint this blue, and I made the Valknut, I engraved the Valknut, and I engraved the pickguard that it was with the kit. And it was a very simple build. I put true oil on this, but the true oil yellow over time, and at the end this became brownish, which I didn't like it, so I took the opportunity, and I wanted to do for a very long time, I took the opportunity to use my orbital sander, take away the finish and the color, and I made some carve on this, which I'm pretty proud of. Overall, this build was pretty simple. The longest thing that I have to do was the engraving, really. I'm pretty happy with the result. It's playing great. I'm very happy with the result because, well, the brown color just bugged me crazy for a very long time, and I like what I did here. The big build of this year is probably Hela, and this is probably one of my most complex and biggest work. On par with Kvasir, but Kvasir was different in some things, and I have to say that I very much like this. It's heavy, it's an heavy guitar, to be honest, but I like it anyway. And well, let's start by looking at what I did from the start. Now, the start of this was making this part right here on the back. With the tool that I have, it was a pain to make the joint here. I couldn't make it a perfect invisible joint here. You can see the line here very clearly. It's what I will call a good job, not a perfect job, because there is no very visible gap. It's just a very thin line, which is okay. I mean, it's okay because this is the best that I can do with the tool that I have, but a lot of you made give me some great tip on how to make this work properly with the router, so I think that the next time will come out pretty damn better. And same for the top. For make this, I cut different piece of cherry and walnut, and I put in this kind of, well, it's kind of like a parquet. I like it, and I think that I will do it again if I can. Other than that, there is some gap here, not in particular with the top. The top of the body came out so damn well that I'm very much happy with this. I have just one visible gap here on the S-stock, but fortunately enough there is the string and the tuner, so it's well covered, I will say. Then I made, I cannot remember if I made it before or after, I made the neck. This neck is made out of cherry with a scruff joint here. That, I have to be honest, came out so damn well. that I'm surprised, because actually, and this is a true story, I forgot that I made it. And while I was sanding, I was thinking why there is this weird grain like here, and then I remember that yes, there is that, because I made a scruff joint. It came out so damn well. I'm so happy with that little part. This is a part that came out at pro level. The scruff joint was actually my biggest achievement, probably. It's a very small thing, but it came out so well that I'm happy. And as for the fingerboard, this is ash and has 2 color, but this was just by chance because I bought it and it has 2 color. I didn't expect it. I thought of making just an ash light color, an ash fingerboard with light color that you will see in this top part, but I found a piece that had also this dark color ash, and it was fortunate because it is tied with the rest of the build, and it works very well. Now let's stay with the neck for a bit. The finger part, the fingerboard, I glued the fingerboard and it came out very well, and I put the frets and made the same work that I did on Cavazier with the aluminum rod for the dots with an inlay of walnut in the center, and I love it, came out very well. As for the engraving here with the runes that said Hela, I like even the fret work on this. It came out very well. I have just I screw up just in a couple of points, but I don't think it's due for the putting the frets on. I think it was when I cut the frets flush with the body, because I don't have a nice cutter for the steel frets. I use this, and in trying to cut it, I twist the frets, and then I hammer it to make sure that it was flat, and I screw up big here and a little here on the second. The rest are all fine. Came out, oh no, and one here, and just one here. Let's talk about what I learned, a tool that I learned on this build, which was the router. Never use a router, and I push it a lot on this build because I needed to learn as quick as possible and how it was using it, and I learned a lot. I even use it to shape it almost to the right shape, the body, before using a template, and I use it for the even for the pickup routing and the neck cavity. Now, and the back cavity. Now, I love how the back cavity came out. It's nice, it's clean, the bottom is clean, which is something that I could never do before because I didn't have a router. So the back cavity came out very well, and the neck, the pickup cavity, not so well, but fortunately I have the rings pickup to cover it, and they came out nice. I need the right router to make this, probably a little smaller one. As for the neck cavity, I think that I screw up making the template here because it didn't come out perfect. I probably screw up making the template. I need to make better template or to order laser one, which could be an idea, so that I will make sure that in the future there is no gap here, because this is not a very well done neck cavity, but we're getting closer and closer, and I think that next time I will nail it. Now let's talk a little about what I like and what I don't like. Now, because this is actually referred to the inlay. Now, I had a problem on this build for the inlay, and I think that the inlay on the back of the neck didn't come out very well. I use a Dremel to make it, but I don't know. I think that the back and the inlay on the back here on Odin came out very well. It's crisp. I just use a knife. This came out very well. Here, no. I had some problem with the Dremel. I probably don't have the right bit to make this type of fine work. I need to butt them, because we'll probably make it a lot faster than use the knife. I mean, for using the knife here, it took me 3 or 4 hours of work. Here it was a lot faster, but it didn't come out so well. I think that I need to buy the right router bit, the right Dremel bits, and or I will continue to use in the future this little knife that carry me on this build a lot. And it's a shame that it didn't come out so well, but we live, we learn. What I actually learned was to use a knife to make this 2 inlay here, which came out so damn well. I love this too. They are precise, small. This came out very well. Now the things that I like also are these 2 knobs here. This is a thing that I like a lot, and I like it even in the other competitor build when they put this type of little detail to type the build, because putting knobs like this one, which is fine in the look of the look of this base, it's okay, but for this not so well. These 2 things work a lot better. Small detail make a big impression. Overall, the thing that I like about the build were the engraving on the front. The general look, I like the shape, by the way. I very much like the shape. I even like the weight. I like heavy guitars. Also, one thing that I like a lot, the placement of the bridge. It was so spot on that when I tune it and then I intonate the string, I didn't need to move basically nothing apart from the G string here. The rest are basic in place. I move it slightly, but these are all good. The placement of the bridge came out well. The neck, the finger work, the fret work, so good on this. The action is nice and low, spot on that. The last thing, the finish could be better, to be honest. I still need to conquer the melamine, but I'm getting better. There are less imperfection this time in comparison to Cavazier. Cavazier had a lot of imperfection if you look closely, but also using the combination of the guitar finishing oil with the melamine give me a very good result. It's not shiny, it's kinda matte finish, but is a lot more smooth at the touch than just an oil-based finish, and gives a lot more protection, I think. So this is a type of finish that I will retry, this combination and also just the melamine, because it's promising. I need to work on it a little more. What I don't like are just the neck cavity, which is not great, needs improvement. The pickup cavity, which need improvement again, but more routing, more drill bits, and better template will solve this. And well, actually, what I didn't like is how the pickup cover came out. So it's not perfect. There are a lot of gap here. This didn't come out very well. I'm happy that it didn't cap as the one on Cavazier, but I did a better job on that. I learned that from this build. I need to make more templates and more router bits to make this kind of work possible and easier for me. But this build was very, very useful for me because I learned to use the router, I learned to use the orbital sander. These two tools make my life a hell of a lot easier, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm learning a lot through each build and testing and trying it. I think that in the near future, actually you will see, I will make some builds to sell. Yeah, and I think that I will close it here. Now I hope that this wasn't too boring. I know that I will have to edit a lot of this because I talked for way too much time, like half an hour. Yes, and it's a little late, but yeah, I like the result here. I like where I'm going, and I think that I will improve a lot in the near future. So stay tuned for more builds. Next week's there is a video on news, because I need to make some adjustment in my life, and I will tell you about that. And yeah, I think that I will see you next week. So until then, bye.